Hi, sweet friend. Welcome to your next module. Right now, we are going to start talking about disrupting your patterns, which is so exciting because up until now, you have been monitoring your thoughts. You've been in the process of noticing, and now we get to start disrupting those patterns. We get to start making change on a conscious level, which is so exciting. Making change on a conscious level is a beautiful stepping stone into what we're going to be getting to next, which is making change on an unconscious level. So, in order to start disrupting those thought patterns and disrupting those thought repetitions that you have been noticing up until now, one of the very first and beautiful things that you can do for yourself is to begin asking yourself powerful questions. And in a moment, we'll be getting to powerful questions. Before we do that, though, I want us to talk about the very beautiful importance of why we want to disrupt these patterns and what that process looks like in disrupting those patterns so that you have a really solid understanding of why we're doing what we're doing and what your end game is. Because in the first few modules where we've been teaching you how to check in with your soul self, you are getting more and more in touch with the beautiful desires that you hold for yourself. And I'm so excited for your soul self to be really excited about disrupting these old patterns that are no longer serving you. So let's take a look right now at your zones of experiences. And I call them zones of experiences because the first one that we're going to be talking about is your comfort zone. And that's probably the most familiar zone or the thing that you have heard most often in other people referring to this concept of zones of experiences. So we'll start out in your comfort zone and then we will move on to talking about the fear zone, your learning zone, and your growth zone. So I am going to pop a quick visual up on the screen for you so that you can follow along as we talk about these zones of experiences and so that you can understand what it is that we're doing and why it is that we're doing in this process of disrupting your mindset patterns. So let me pull that up for you. Now that we have up our visual of your zones of experience, you are going to see all the way over to this section, your comfort zone. And in your comfort zone, you are really feeling those feelings of safety. You're feeling those feelings of being in control. You're in that mode of feeling comfy and cruisy, and nothing seems like it's a speed bump, right? You're doing exactly what you've always done according to the habits that you've always done them by. You can also experience in your comfort zone feelings of boredom or stagnancy. That's where you start to notice that your innermost self, your deepest self, begins to feel a little stagnant with where you are. It doesn't feel inspired. She doesn't feel as if you are reaching that total pinnacle of existential happiness that she desires for you. And also within your comfort zone, you'll notice higher feelings of confidence because you are very familiar with what it is that you're doing because your unconscious mind is supporting you. Now, once you start getting out of your comfort zone, your unconscious mind, who is there to hold a space for you, who's there to help to keep you safe, is going to start going into this fear mode. And you will find yourself in what's called the fear zone. And this is often that time where, like, something new is happening and you start to feel a little sweaty and you start making excuses for why you can't do these new things that your unconscious mind is helping you to feel afraid of. You might notice self sabotaging behaviors like avoidance or perfectionism. Within this zone, you'll also notice that you might be adhering to or tempted to adhere to a lot of society's expectations for you, or a lot of norms or restrictive behaviors that are telling you that you shouldn't go out of your comfort zone, that you should stay the same, that you should be the person that you're supposed to be. And within this fear zone, you'll notice that it's harder to find a sense of confidence and it's harder to find a sense of self empowerment because you're stuck in that state of sweaty hands and feeling fear. And when we can work with your unconscious mind to help it move past this fear zone, you can move yourself into a state of the learning zone. And the learning zone is so beautiful. And you've likely found yourself here at times in your life where you have kind of like muscled past and used your conscious thought to get yourself past the fear into the point where you are gaining a new skill or you are meeting a new challenge with a sense of curiosity or maybe even a sense of determination, right? If you are consciously trying to move past your fear. And when we can get to a point where we are getting your unconscious mind on your side, it becomes easier and more effortless to be moving into this learning zone where you are finding that you are consulting your inner self or your inner intuition more often, and where you're finding that your decisions seem more exciting and that you're beginning to grow a new sense of confidence or a new sense of self empowerment. And that is the beauty of being in that learning zone. And then the next section. Once you get used to living in that learning zone and continuously pushing into it, you will find yourself within the growth zone. And my sweet friend, the growth zone is exactly where we are looking to get you within this methodology of self coaching so that you are continuously self coaching yourself for growth, so that you can realize the beautiful dreams that you hold in your heart, so that you can work for that beautiful sense of self purpose and fulfillment in your life, where you are realizing that self actualization and you're consistently seeing the amazing things that are possible for you. Hello, beautiful human. Editing Kayla here. I'm so excited to see you, and I'm just popping in to say that this video is brought to you by Braveheart Open Mind's free replay policy. Because here at Braveheart Open Mind, we believe that every human person should have access to self love resources, and not just any self love resources. Self love resources and support of the quality that people would pay tens or hundreds or thousands of dollars for, because everyone deserves to have that level of support for their own sweet, juicy, delicious self love. I am so excited to invite you to join the Brave Heart Open Mind movement on Patreon so that you can support every single human person with internet access to YouTube to be able to love themselves more deeply and fully and richly. So you can totally hop on Patreon if that sounds like a movement that aligns with your heart, with your soul, if that movement sounds like something that you would desire to be a part of and contribute to. And if you find yourself sitting here thinking, I don't have the money to do that, I don't have the money to pay for things like this, that is why we're here. You are the reason why we are doing all of this. If you are sitting there saying that to yourself, because you deserve the same resources and opportunities that everyone else has. And Braveheart Open Mind is here to bring that to you by posting all of the replays of our live experiences on YouTube for you to be able to participate in after the fact. So, if you want to join the Braveheart Open Mind movement, you can enjoy the videos here, hit like and subscribe to be a part of the YouTube community, or join us on Patreon, or join us at any of our live paid events, because joining any of the live paid events helps to contribute to the replay being posted for free after the fact. So, you're officially invited to join in any of those capacities that feel good. And I love you so, so much. Now, back to the video. Because your entire life, sweet friend, is a set of beautiful possibilities. And your intuition, or your deepest self, your soul self, sees all of those possibilities for you. Your soul self always lives in that growth zone. We're just working now on getting your conscious and unconscious mind on board with your soul self, living in this growth zone where you're consistently seeing what is possible for you, where you are consistently setting new and exciting goals, where you are stepping into your true potential, and where those fears begin to seem unfearful and more exciting or adventurous instead, where you are giving honor to that fear and then moving past it into a place of faith. Because there's a duality to fear, isn't there? In order for your mind to hold the possibility that you might fail, that something might go wrong, your mind also has to hold the possibility that you might succeed and that everything can go right. So imagine fear like a coin, and on the flip side is faith. And your soul self always has faith in you. And your unconscious mind, because its prime directive is to biologically and evolutionarily keep you safe, it's always going to advocate on behalf of fear and keeping things the same and keeping you in the set of habits that it already knows for you. And back in the day when we were living in a jungle or in the savannah and we were trying to like avoid lions and tigers and bears, right? Back in that day when dying by horrific animal attack was a true possibility, our unconscious mind was really an advocate in trying to streamline our habits, keep us safe, make sure that we're conserving energy so that we don't get attacked by a tiger, so that our senses are on red alert. Or if we do get attacked by a flippin' tiger, we are able to cope with it because we've stuck to our habits and conserved our energy. And because that's how our unconscious mind works for us, in today's day and age, our sense of a tiger is maybe starting that business we've always dreamed of. Or our bear is that vacation we've always wanted to take, or that traveling we've always wanted to do. And so our unconscious mind is keeping us in this place of conserving energy and keeping us safe. Whereas our soul self is advocating for our growth and for our existential happiness and empowerment. And so within this process, within these breaking those patterns that you are already in, we are getting your unconscious mind on board with your soul self. We are using neurolinguistic programming, the language of how your mind communicates, to communicate back to your unconscious mind to get it to support your soul self, to get it to support that consistent expansion of your comfort zone, to get those fears to begin to seem exciting and adventurous, to feel those feelings of existential happiness and peace. And so that's what we're doing here within this module of starting to break those patterns. We're going to first start on a conscious level, and then we are absolutely moving into that unconscious level so that you can get your unconscious mind on board with what your soul self desires. And isn't that so freaking beautiful? So, we will talk more about strategy. We will talk more about what exactly we're doing in the next video. Because in this one, I wanted us to focus solely on your zones of experience. So take a quick break if you need it, grab your favorite beverage of choice, and I will meet you over in the next video.